A little more than a year ago, Stephanie Montes was in my poetics class. She was quiet, dark-eyed, shy to speak, but when she turned in a poem, even though she was just beginning to learn the form of a poem then, there was always this sort of strength, this wildness which wanted to leap from the page. It was a beginning class for beginning writers. Let's face it, undergraduate creative writing majors. Though you have been working at your writing for years now, you are just at the tip of the beginning of your work. But Stephanie had a light then, a little duende, a little corazón that spoke through the page nonetheless, beginner as she was. Just 1 year later, I was surprised to see Stephanie's work again in another class, and how much she had grown in the small space of a year. Suddenly, the page was wrestling the savageness of lyrical language, and I knew then that I was witnessing the growth of a young poet coming to her own. Stephanie writes with grace and intelligence, never settling for the merely clever or stylish, but always pushing towards complex human questions. Her poems are haunting, and they grapple with such difficult subjects as religion and exile, collapse and connection, love and fear. She is an ambitious poet in all the best ways, and she is disciplined. When you listen to her tonight, you will hear a genuine voice, a voice which questions as much as it unsettles. It's the best kind of voice, the kind of voice in which the greatest poets of our time also speak. The world for Stephanie is not a place which is neatly packageable. For Stephanie, the world is shifting, and we are upside down on the earth as much as we are right side up. And that kind of complexity of sight, willingness towards new perspective, is her strength as an artist. This is a poet who is just on the edge. Join her audience as she jumps off of it. It's my great pleasure to introduce you to Stephanie Montes.
Sasha. Thank you everyone for being here. It's such an honor to be here among some really amazing writers. This first poem that I'm going to read today was written a year ago in the first class that I had with Sasha. It was the last poem that I had turned in, and I feel that everything that I've written since then has the same voice, and I've kept that going. Salvation. Like the last image of mercy, 3 shadows melt into one. Gently, they fold themselves into sunlight's abandoned spaces. In a chapel, candlelight caresses palms pressed. In prayer, whispered words devour ghosts of our loved ones, which burn in their mouths like hot mints. Ophelia's Lullaby. I was trying to live within beds of purples and reds. They reminded me of my loves. They called me mad, their voices swallowed by those who dwelled within me. I want your comfort by the lake. You never called me mad, mother. Willow, scoop me into your delicate arms. Cradle me to sleep. Sing me a lullaby to drown dirty songs that bruise the mind. I am heavy with dark songs. They said I've grown mad. The voices beckon me to join them beneath the water. You threw me in, and I am your reflection. Eyes, wide, hair as wild as your limbs, wave from beneath the white water. My face a permanent O, my hand still clutching yours as you sing me to the lake. a moment between mother and child. One cross draped with miseries, body embellished the room where I kept you. In my palm, tiny bead that came, unstrung, I unraveled with you, love. My 2 hands are stained, they cannot wash away your residue. I tried to pray, a lullaby to the Trinity, but there are no longer 3. You fell out. Son, I held you in my red hands, wrapping around your fragile body. I touched the memory of every one of your 4 curled limbs, the unfinished words to a prayer. You are mystery number 5. The natural disaster of a love affair. Danger. We are pinned beneath rock sheets that pull us to the core. The world cannot feel. When we collide, it's about you and me. My tremors could bring them to their knees. Deliverance. We breed the salvation that flutter like flies on blackened flesh. They know not what they cannot see. Danger, us caught beneath red rivers sinking. Slowly, you and I breathe a prayer that reeks of mustard gas. We are to be crucified. The world buries us alive with the rubble of their eyes. This next poem is still in the beginning stages of revision, but it was written after viewing a painting by Salvador Dali. Dream caused by the flight of a bee around a pomegranate. A second before waking, she lay, basking in peach light that kissed the blue sea upon the horizon. She is not. Grounded in this wakeful earth, she hovers. Just above solid ground, a slab of earth cracks to form the naked island of her white body. She sleeps through the dream that escaped. When the womb was ripped, the seeds spit, the animals free. Red fish feast upon the orange and black stripes of a tiger. His roar is no match for the silence that saturates the slumber, calling the elephant to stretch his leg bones until they become a tightrope. The barrel of the gun slims to become a needle. It becomes a stinger, pricking her skin to make her forget. This dream truly began when a pomegranate orbited a bee. And this will be my last one. For a girl with regrets after her one-night stand. Open your eyes to the weak girl before you on her knees. Her gaze is like thick smoke across a bruised sky. Look at her. Open her like a flower, breathing her scent as you peel back layers of white flesh. Grind her up and blow her to the winds.